Hello, everybody.
Oh,
Welcome
oh,
back
oh.
to the Nerds That Talk, or the Talking Nerds, if you will. Gone are the days when Captain Marvel was the worst movie, the definitive, clear worst movie in the MCU. Now we have too many choices. So we'll be talking about a particular one very soon. Before we get into that, how are you guys doing?
Good. Yeah, I think this
Have you-
was just a ploy from Brie Larson to not be the most hated
I don't.
person out there. She was like, "Please make worse movies than mine so that I'm not the most hated."
I should always remember that clip where she's like, "So when's the next?" I think it was the same dude. I think the gayest Star Wars movie. Pretty sure it was that guy. He's like, "So is there any new like Captain Marvel stuff?" And she's like, she had this crazy eye. She's like, "I don't know. You tell me. You tell me." That is
You
like
told me.
that is peak Brie Larson right there. But you know, she's kind of like stepped off the accelerator in terms of the woke stuff. So she's kind of gotten a little better. Imagine that.
Imagine that. I can't.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Somehow. He's back. He's back.
He's back.
Other
Anyways,
than that, not much has been happening. Yeah, I don't think I've watched anything new except for what we're going to talk about tonight.
have you watched anything old?
No. Oh, I did start the Prey movie, but I got about 5 minutes in and I was like,
Don't even bother. Yeah. Don't even bother. Although the Predator Badlands is coming out this I think October or something like that, which is supposed, I don't think it's a sequel, but it's another anthology Predator movie, and it's going to take place in the Badlands. So you can bet your bottom dollar it's going to be some Little House on the Prairie meets Predator.
nice.
Can't wait for that. Can't wait for little orphan Annie out there.
They just defeat the Predator by giving him like scarlet fever or something.
Yes. Get him, Yeller. Yep.
Oh man.
That movie was so stupid, actually. It's because the whole thing about Predator is they want to make it about the hunt. You know, they want it to be exciting, so they don't they could easily beat anybody, but they choose to use base weapons, you know, or basic weapons or primitive weapons, I guess, to fight their enemy, to taunt with them, you know, to make it a fair challenge. But somehow, even in the most basic weapons that an American Indian would have, she still beats the Predator with mud, camouflage, and sticks. And he got mauled by a bear, to be fair. So, you know, that worked out in her favor.
Well,
and somehow she became the chief of their little tribe because she beat Predator.
The sticks and stones are, that's ridiculous. But the mud, to be fair, what's his name? In the original, he beat him with mud.
True. But we already knew that, so it's kind of just like recycled plot point, you know.
True.
Done worse than the original.
Recycled twice because they used that in Predators as well.
Was that the one on the other planet? Yeah. With what's his face? Adrian Brody. Yeah. Underrated actor. I do like him a lot.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, you can keep watching if you want, but there's not much going on there, so
I probably won't. But
did you hear there's I'm sure you heard about it, but there was like a little teaser for the new Alien Earth show coming out in August on Hulu.
I did see that.
It could be just as bad as Romulus, but we'll see.
Could.
It is on Hulu, and a lot of Hulu shows have been good, but I think it's made what's FX, I guess. So I don't know. Could be good, could be bad. There was like a promo picture for it where it was like a face hugger on the Statue of Liberty. So that was kind of cool.
It may not be as bad as Romulus, but it could be just as bad as AVP 2, which
Oh,
happened on
Requiem.
Requiem, yeah.
Yeah, AVP Requiem. Yep. I don't think I ever saw that actually.
Not as bad as Romulus, but still bad.
Nothing is, well, I shouldn't say that.
In the Alien universe, nothing is as bad as Romulus.
I don't know. Prometheus or Alien Covenant might be worse.
I don't know. I mean, at least that had the traditional alien, even if it was for.
Maybe it is worse. I don't know. I haven't seen those in a while, and I don't really plan to watch them again. So, I guess we'll just pretend it's the worst for now, or just agree it's the worst. But
yeah,
definitely makes Alien 4 look a lot better.
Yeah,
that's for sure. Anyways, Bluey,
I have started phase 1 again. And
Nice.
Instead of being happy about it, I'm sad. Oh, that's dramatic. Yeah, we had it good, you know?
we did.
Starting off with a bang with Iron Man and then not a bang with Iron Man 2. But then yeah, Captain America.
It's sad seeing that
Avengers.
end credit scene for Iron Man where it's Nick Fury and you're like,
I know.
what has become of you? Black Girl Magic.
Black Girl Magic. Oh, the Marvels. Yeah, that's where that one's from. I actually laughed at that, not because it was funny, but because it was so out of pocket.
It was
like,
really random.
What?
Yeah.
What? I also noticed the comedy cues are a lot less cringy. We kind of talk about that a little bit, but it was more like environmental comedy, especially in Iron Man 2, although it's not the greatest. There's a scene where Iron Man flies over a bunch of cars and it goes quiet, but then when he flies over, it sends a car alarm off because he's almost supersonic. But he's being chased by all of the other drones, and they fly over, and then all the cars go off, and it's okay, that's kind of realistic, but it's kind of funny too because all these car alarms are going off, and the music stops for it, but then it cuts right back to the action, and it's it's not cringe, and it's not a dialogue break the tension. It's an environmental realistic type of thing.
Speaking of super sonic boom, did you guys? I didn't catch this at first, but now that I think about it, it's even worse than I originally thought. In frickin' Copetain, America, when he lands at the beginning, that thing that blows everybody back is a sonic boom from him landing.
Yeah,
thing that blows everybody back.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, his legs are gone, they're jelly for sure. Now they're definitely jelly because he freaking landed at the speed of sound. What?
And he pushed other normal humans away,
right?
But not himself.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
but the whole thing with cringy jokes and humor and stuff is the car thing. It's it's not about a cringy actor trying to make a cringy joke. It's they did something funny. It had nothing to do with the actor or actresses in the movie. And yeah, sometimes it does, but it's they make jokes today to be like, haha, look at Anthony Mackie, he's so funny, or whatever stupid actor is trying to be funny.
Well, and this movie was so it was re-edited so many times there are moments that
Didn't feel so
they're like making like a reaction to what would probably be a joke, but it's a serious moment, and you're like, that doesn't fit. I think one of those moments was like I think Joaquin Phoenix, what's his face?
Joaquin Phoenix.
He was explaining
Falcon Jr., Sparrow,
Falcon,
or Wingman.
Mexican Falcon,
Yeah.
was explaining something to Sam, and he like his reaction was like, "What?" Like it was a really simple thing that anybody would understand. It was like, oh,
Like
I forgot what the
mansplaining.
reference was, but somebody brought it up, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's true. That's so out of it, it's just really poorly put together.
And how
But
many
anyways.
times do they do this stupid trope where somebody gives a speech and they're like, "Did you practice that? Yeah, yeah. Did it come off okay?"
Oh, I hate that.
Like,
Yeah,
Oh,
oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
that's
He
god.
did it with
that's their way to.
Bucky. Yeah.
They can't be too serious, so they have to break off any serious moments with that. That's their go-to plugin. Yeah, it's always the most serious and like heartfelt moments. Like, even though that was a dumb moment, anyways, because it's just like what.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're getting into the review. What are we doing?
What are we doing? It's just so
Yeah, so saw that on Sunday. Let's see. I think that's it, kind of it. Yeah, that'll be it for me, I guess. Nothing really too crazy. I mean, got baby coming, so kind of
Yep.
occupied with that kind of stuff, you know?
You got Doge in the background there.
Yeah, he's vibing.
Nice.
Yep, being a good boy.
The goodest of boys. Nice. I haven't been up to a lot other than Bloodborne, as always. I'm progressing farther in, and it's fun,
Well,
and I
you
love it.
played something new
Oh
last
yeah,
night.
I did play Among Us last night for the first time ever. In my first round, I was the imposter, and I'm like, oh no. And there weren't that many of us at first. More people joined, but I'm like, okay, it's gonna be pretty easy to kind of, narrow it down who's the imposter, because only one person dies. There's 5 of you, and everybody has an alibi or they saw each other, so it's kind of obvious, But somehow I won the first round, but I only had to kill like, I think I had to kill like 2 people or something, or 2 or 3 people or something like that. So I was successful in the first round. Then I was it
There are
again.
five of you? Was there 5 of you?
There were 5 of us at first, I believe.
Yeah,
5
so
or
I
6.
think you'd need
Yeah.
to kill 3.
We got up to 7, I believe, altogether. So it was, with one imposter, it helped it a little bit more. But yeah, I was the imposter like 5 times, and I won every single time, and I was so proud. I was like, I was most nervous because I like sometimes, first of all, I didn't know the map really well, so that actually kind of helped me in certain ways because that was a better alibi. I'm like, I don't really know what this is called. I was in that place, at the thing. But sometimes I'm just like, I was doing some, my tasks. I was doing it.
I was just doing my thing.
So, but yeah, I never got found out. One time I was a crewmate and they kicked me out thinking I was the imposter, and that was lame. But we only lost like 1 or 2 rounds. I won every other single one, so I was super happy about that. So it's fun. I liked it a lot. It's a fun game. Fairly simple, just a blast. It's got a lot of replayability. You can just keep going and going and going. And fun in big groups. But yeah, then we played Nuclear Nightmare, which is an early access game. That was pretty fun. And I've been rewatching Daredevil season 1. I'm like 3/4 of the way through, and I'm worried I'm definitely not gonna get it all in before Born Again comes out. So I'll do my best, but it's good. It is some of the best television ever made. It's so good. At least for me. I like it a lot. And haven't really watched any movies except obviously the elephant in the room here, and not the white elephant though.
The red elephant.
The red, white, and black. No. And I'm trying to think. I feel like I haven't done much really. I'm watching Invincible, obviously. It got
yeah.
slightly better the last
I did.
episode.
I forgot about that. I did watch that.
Yeah. Are you caught up then? Did you watch the most recent episode?
No, I'm only like
Okay.
3 or 4, and
There's 4 episodes out right now.
okay, so I'm 3, and I know I have one more
Okay.
left.
Yeah. So I thought it was kind of getting like really like a lot of character drama, there was a lot of drama,
Yeah.
and it was mostly about it was a lot of Mark being like, leave me alone, leave my family alone, Cecil, and just like a ton of that. I'm like, where's like the action, from season
Right.
1? What happened?
Where's the ripping people in half?
Yeah, I want to see
action?
blood. Come on. And then it definitely picked up in the last episode. It was great.
Yeah.
I
Well,
won't spoil it for you, but
okay. I was gonna say I sure hope that Omni-Man shows up in the 4th episode, because I've been like, where is he?
well, he showed up in the end of episode 3, so
Yeah.
but yeah, there's a moment that is like exactly like 1-to-1 from a panel from the comics. It was so well done. So yeah, I think
Nice.
you'll like it. I liked it a lot better. I'm hoping it keeps going in this direction again. They brought back a really cool character that I think was in season 1, maybe season 2. I can't remember now. But yeah, I think there's a lot of good stuff coming. We just got to get through some of this stuff. And then of course, My Neighbor Spider-Man, which was so aggravating these past 3 episodes. I don't know if you caught up, Nick.
Yeah, I'm all caught up. There's 8 episodes. Is that
8
it?
episodes out.
Season?
No, there's 2 more episodes and then it's
Okay.
over. Thank goodness. There was a line drop, which we'll talk about later, that just pissed me off from Norman Osborn. I think you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
That just screws up everything. That is like the most unredeemable moment, because you can't take that back now. That just screwed up everything about the character. Ugh, that pissed me off.
I'm like 95% like, I hate this. The other 5% is giving me the benefit of the doubt that they're setting it up to be the antithesis, but that'd be giving them a lot of credit.
Yeah, I mean, but they screwed up the origin of it though, like the origin of him. There are some cool things. I like Dr. Octopus a lot, actually.
He seems I don't know much about the comics, but he seems
he's pretty on point, I think. But yeah, everything else is garbage. It's so bad. But anyways, we'll get to that later. That's about it. So let's get into some stuff. So a little bit of we can't have a Talking Nerds podcast without mentioning DEI, or Disney. They kind of correlate. Disney is stepping back from some DEI efforts as Trump takes power. We'll see how long that lasts. This change comes amid a campaign against programs intended to boost diversity in the private sector for allegedly violating civil rights laws. In a move to try and ensure that it doesn't wind up in the crosshairs of the Trump administration's campaign against DEI programs, Disney appears to be rolling back some of its DEI efforts. I love how that's the reason, not just like, oh, we really haven't been making a profit off of this garbage.
It's not like we haven't, made money on the last 12 projects or anything.
You'd think a company would want to make a profit, but I guess not. The entertainment giant, in its latest filings to regulators, scrubbed references to the Reimagine Tomorrow initiative, which launched in 2021. That's how long this has been going on. We kind of talked about that, but that is, it's just same old everything.
Ugh.
With the
Same
purpose of
crap, different day. Different tomorrow.
year, yeah. With the purpose of amplifying underrepresented voices. It also didn't mention employee development programs and fellowships for underrepresented talent. So stupid. Talent is just talent.
Yeah.
Like, you're trying to tell me there's no black people, and there haven't been black people in Hollywood until now? It's like Jennifer Lawrence saying she was the first female action star ever. Are you freaking kidding me?
It's delusional.
My favorite movies of all time is Alien and Aliens. So get out of here.
Sigourney Weaver.
Not that I like Sigourney Weaver, but I like
You
Ripley.
do in those movies.
I like Ripley, the character. So, it also didn't mention instead, noting an existing initiative intended to hire military veterans. The pivot was outlined in a note to employees sent Tuesday from Chief Human Resources Officer Sonia Coleman. It includes a new talent strategy factor to execute compensation planning that assesses how leaders, quote, uphold our company values, incorporate different perspectives to drive business success. Good joke right there. Cultivate an environment where all employees can thrive and sustain a robust pipeline to ensure long-term organizational strength. It is a robust pipeline, but not in a good way.
I want to know why Disney is afraid to make money, or where they're getting money, so where they can like lose money to the public. You know what I mean?
It's
Like, I want to know.
BlackRock and all these big companies who are pushing these DEI initiatives, and they're the ones funding everything. They're the backers.
Yeah. I mean, they've got to be losing money in all of this too, because
Right. Somebody's
Disney can't
losing
pay
money.
them back if they're not making money themselves.
Yeah.
Unless the payoff was what they thought they might get last November, which in the case they didn't get paid.
There was this movie trailer that came out for this I forget what it's called, but it was a black female president. And I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
this is
or something like
so funny. Like, on one hand, you have Brave New World with the Trump president, what they think about Trump. And then you have a movie that they was going to release this year because they thought this was the person who was going to be president this year.
Yeah.
Is it G20? Is that the name of it?
Yeah, G20.
Yeah,
Something like
yeah,
that.
right.
Something
The
like that,
G20 summit or whatever.
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
a black woman president, and not only that, like, you don't stop there. She's also like a BA
Oh yeah.
tactical fighter.
She's that's what's her face from Suicide Squad? Amanda Waller. That's Amanda Waller.
She's a
She plays all
POC.
those roles.
She's a POC Mary Sue.
No, wait. Yeah, Viola Davis.
Viola
right?
Davis. Yeah.
But Viola.
Maybe this
Davis.
is an origin story from Amanda Waller.
Yeah, her.
We don't need origin stories anymore.
And she was the Woman King too. Remember that?
Oh,
yeah.
So
The Queen.
I totally saw that movie.
No, the Woman King.
I saw that movie, definitely.
Isn't it so, like, we'll talk about this later when we talk about Captain America, but like, they can't find success in their own characters or their own identity. The women have to be men to be better. That's so counterintuitive to your movement, but okay. Black men have to take white men's characters because somehow they're better.
It's like
Doesn't make any
meme
sense.
where it shows like the two buttons. It was like, women should be equal to men.
Yes.
Men are trash.
And the eyes are like going both ways. Yeah. It's true. It's absolutely counterintuitive, but it's the woke mind virus for a reason. The changes come amid an escalating drive by the government against DEI programs hosted by private companies. President Trump has issued an executive order directing investigation of allegedly illegal DEI policies, illegal DEI policies for violations of federal civil rights laws, though it remains unclear what he's referencing among other changes. Is that true? That it's unclear what he's referencing? That's
know.
that's I don't know about that. Oop.
Yeah,
Whoa.
I can't say.
The pressure from the government to eliminate programs that exclude certain groups on the basis of race, not true. That's not true. Like what? Like what? It's not excluding anybody.
Yeah, that's.
You need to do better.
You need to do better, Senator.
That's really all it is. Are you a good actor? Great. You're hired.
Hired. Are you not?
Not
You're
only
fired.
Not
Go
only
get
just
better
are
and
you a
come
great
back.
actor, but do you
Get
fit
good,
this
scrub.
role? Or are we changing the role to fit you?
It's
And
like
then it's
game.
still bad.
I mean, gaming is honestly one of the greatest examples of how DEI doesn't work, because they make what?
Sorry, the gaming industry. I don't know if you guys saw the news today. The gaming industry is just awful all around.
Oh yeah.
With jobs. So I don't know if you saw this, Biggie, but Marvel Rivals, one of the
Yeah, I
hottest
saw
games.
that. Yep.
They fired their lead game director and
I
the
did
team
see
that
that.
built it after finding success.
I
So
know.
everybody on X are memeing. They're like, make a bad game, get fired. Make a great successful game, also
fired.
get fired.
I know.
Like you can't win. So
You really can't.
I don't know if you really want to use the gaming.
Well, I was more. Yeah, I wasn't more. I was more gonna say like I guess not the people making the games. I meant more like the culture around it. Like you create a game that's like Dragon Age Veilguard, for instance. The hardcore mode was just really basically easy mode. And it was just a really poorly put together game that they think is like, this is hardcore gaming. And that kind of like, what's happening. And then of course it gets memed to death and then the game doesn't do well. It's like, no, you can't just get away with this. Like,
Yeah.
you actually
think,
have to make a good game for gamers to actually want to play it.
And it's also easier to self-insert yourself into games.
Right.
Which
right.
we see all the time.
Yeah. And that's a big problem for Captain America, this new movie, because one of the lines that Bucky uses is, Steve was the person that everybody could look up to, but you are someone they can aspire to. And it's like, that makes zero sense at all. You know, first of all, he's actually not somebody who can really aspire to be, because he's given all this stuff for free. He's getting like all the Avengers tech. He's getting Iron Man tech. He's getting Wakandan tech, Captain America's shield. He's getting Ant-Man's helmet for some reason. He's an amalgamation of all the Avengers. He is the Avengers.
He is the Avenger.
That's not something your average Joe can just aspire to. You know, that's DEI at work in freaking the Avengers.
That's some privilege right there.
Steve Rogers earned it.
The whole point of him being Captain America is because of who he was. The serum really doesn't matter. It only exemplifies who you are as a person. Right. That's why he was worthy to pick up Thor's freaking hammer, because he's a good person. And this stupid movie is trying to convince us that somehow Sam Wilson is a better pick for Captain America than freaking Steve Rogers.
I'm sorry, but I don't remember Sam Wilson picking up Mjolnir.
No, and he never will. The day he picks up Mjolnir, I'm done. I'm done. I'm never watching another Marvel movie again.
Market.
Yeah. I guess they can't get out of that one, since Mjolnir is Well, it was destroyed. Okay, actually,
It's
no,
back.
they put it back together. So I guess
Yeah.
Just like Chris Evans will be back because everything is retconned in the end in comics.
Yeah, they
they'll
did
always
say
be back
Captain America
because
will
at
be
the end of
back.
the day, DEI doesn't sell anything. You
Also,
always
I
gotta go back to your
realized
roots.
going back, they did that ever since phase 1. Like the so and so will be back in so and so will be back in. Like they did it from the very beginning. I didn't realize
I
that.
know. Yeah, they did. They did. Another thing on that, like Steve Rogers is someone to aspire to if you are a good person and you have good qualities, because he was just a normal person. He was a scrawny little kid from Brooklyn who just never gave up, and he was tested. That's how he became Captain America. He's the one who jumped on the freaking grenade. That was like, he didn't have powers back then. He didn't have a
Yeah.
suit that could fight the Red Hulk somehow. He didn't have anything. He was just a scrawny little kid, and he made that sacrificial because of his character. That was who he was. And again, the serum only made him more of who he is.
gosh, yeah, just thinking through this, I know we'll get into this, but literally Bruce Banner Hulk fought Iron Man and he
And he barely survived.
barely beat Hulk.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. The freaking flagpole alone. This movie's a joke.
Yeah.
This movie's a joke.
I don't think I think that was a core memory for me of like, no, like literally the flag like comes swinging through, he catches it, and I literally like step back and I look at Nick, and he does the same exact thing at me. I think that's a core memory for me. I don't know about you, Nick Buffalo, but I was like, we had the same exact thought
Disbelief.
at the same exact time. We like
I
turned towards
think
each
everybody
other.
did. I mean, that
God.
that is ridiculous.
It was awful.
Yeah.
All that to say, though, DEI doesn't work, and this movie shows it pretty plain. So, but we'll get into that.
Yeah.
Let's get through this. Although a chunk of the private sector started shying away from explicitly mentioning race in those initiatives before Trump's inauguration, the withdrawal escalated when he took office. Meta, Amazon, and Google have started eliminating diversity programs, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Disney, like most other companies, doesn't explicitly mention race in its DEI objectives, although it's very clear. In favor of underrepresented. It's the same picture. It's the same picture. Corporate wants you to tell the difference between these two. It's the same.
They're the same.
Its concerns revolve around the possibility that these programs, including one requiring that at least half of producers and writing staff come from underrepresented groups. I mean, gosh, that's so racist. It's so racist. Establish discriminatory hiring quotas.
I mean, at what point are they not going to be underrepresented because they're forcefully being represented so much?
And you have to have like 3 different diverse qualities to make you, to qualify. You can't just be gay.
It's not enough to just be gay anymore.
Yeah. Sorry. Better luck next time.
So long, gay boy.
So long, gay boy. That's exactly what came to mind. The memo from Coleman notes that it's rooted in our efforts to enhance our employee experience and marks the evolution of the significant work done with Reimagine Tomorrow. In the securities filing, the company still notes an executive incubator and creative talent development program intended to promote individuals from underrepresented groups.
Why is it in quotes?
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, what are you doing? Stop.
Underrepresented.
Get
It's like
some help.
you don't even believe it yourself. You gotta quote it.
Whatever that means.
Whatever that means.
Because it's so fluid. They don't want to like make it for sure because they're like, well, it could change tomorrow.
Yeah. I'd say white people are underrepresented now at this point.
Definitely the males.
Yeah. Other changes are being contemplated. One target: content advisors implemented in 2020 on classic Disney. That was why is there okay? And classic Disney animated and live action titles like Peter Pan, The Aristocats, and Dumbo, according to a person familiar with the situation who notes that it will move from the beginning of movies to an informational tab. Yeah. I remember that when that happened. That was Peter Pan. I think that was the one I heard about it, where it's like
Oh yeah, the notice.
there might be some some content in here that is
Offensive.
hurtful or outdated or whatever. Yeah, that's why they came out with that Peter Pan
Man, I
movie.
forgot
Or
about
Wendy.
Peter Pan
Wendy
when
and
they
the
made
Lost
all the
Boys or
Lost
whatever.
Boys girls,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Ugh, that was so bad. That was horrible.
even-
I never watched
didn't
it,
even
but
watch
just the
Me
trailer
neither.
alone, I'm like,
Yeah.
ugh.
I know. Again, one of those movies that I just forgot existed.
There's so much sludge out there now. It's just it's hard to keep up with it all. The situation. Okay. Yep. The notice states this program includes negative depictions and or mistreatment. There you go. Of people or cultures, like the Indians in Peter Pan. Apparently, Disney Plus has put warnings about outdated cultural depictions on its film titles since launching, but the latest language went a step further in cautioning against racist and culturally insensitive depictions in its movies. The studio consulted with a third-party advisory council that included groups like the African American Film Critics Association, Coalition of Asian Pacifics in Entertainment, and GLAAD, among others. You know what's funny too? Like they won't. It's like, okay, if you don't like it, why not just take it off your platform then? But they'll never do that because then somebody else will try to, somebody else people will pirate it or whatever, just to watch it. And then they don't want that, of course, because then they're losing money on their product. But their product's racist, though. Can't win.
Oh man.
In recent years, Disney has been criticized by conservatives for adding racially diverse and gay characters in movies.
That's not totally true. That's a misrepresentation.
It is a misrepresentation. We're criticized for putting only racially diverse and gay characters in movies.
Or bad acting diverse and gay
Or
characters.
replacing normally
normal people.
No, let me finish. Replacing normally non-diverse and straight characters with
heteronormative.
I'm not racist, I swear.
That's racist.
Let me finish.
In a November 29 interview at the New York Times Dealbook event, weeks after the Marvels underperformed in its box office, how dare we not give it more money? Bo en route to $206 million globally. How do you project that? Disney CEO Bob Iger acknowledged the impact of Disney's culture war critics on its operations. Yeah, it's their fault. Creators lost sight of what their number one objective needed to be. We have to entertain first. It's not about messages.
That is the most hypocritical thing that he could say.
He is a liar, so yeah.
Well, he said they lost sight. I think that's true.
We weren't even looking at it.
That's true.
We were blind, actually. Blinded by DEI.
Oh, thank goodness it's almost over. Last year, Disney's DEI programs came under attack by Stephen Miller's America First Legal Foundation, which claimed that initiatives to boost diversity and inclusion violate civil rights laws and have tanked the entertainment's giant's value. At the time, the entertainment giant continued to fight a high-profile legal battle with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis over control of its special tax district that afforded the company's special privileges in the state to control the land its sprawling theme parks sit on. Like America First, the Republican governor attacked the company for woke decisions around content. Also at play, a lawsuit filed by Gina Carano for discrimination and wrongful termination after she was actually fired from The Mandalorian over a series of social media posts. You can't say allegedly. She was.
Yeah.
Elon Musk, who commented that Iger should be fired immediately, go F yourself. That's what he said.
Yeah.
After Disney pulled ads from X, is funding the litigation. And she's doing really well.
Can't
So good
spell
for her.
Disney without DEI.
That's true.
Or DIE.
Or D's nuts.
Oh man.
So yeah, I mean, what do you take from that? Hollywood's, they're still mad about it.
The
Mhm.
Hollywood Reporter. I could kind of taste the salt in this article from
Yeah.
from Winston Cho.
Yeah. No,
Um,
I mean, when you're in power, it's attack, and when you're on the defense, it's like, oh, we're being attacked, like poor us.
Think, deflect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Captain African American when he's fighting the Red Hulk. Deflect.
Just talk him down.
Yeah.
Sun's
Yeah,
getting
he's
real
a
low, big
social
guy.
worker. Captain social worker.
Oh,
Captain
man.
social worker. All right. In other news, an old man near his death and is near also nearing a deal to play Dumbledore in HBO's
Is this
Harry Potter.
DEI?
No, but you know
Or
what's
does this
interesting?
follow under the ADA, the Disabilities Act?
They're hiring an old white guy in hopes that he does die and that they can replace him.
You know what's interesting though? He's not a British actor, which I found unusual. I thought they were only. So I'm like, okay, get Adam Driver on the phone then. Let's go.
I'm still mad. Yeah, I'm still mad about Snape.
Yeah. How about let's just make it all American cast? How about that? Let's just do it. Let's go for it.
The American version of Harry Potter.
Oh wait.
All jokes aside, he is a really good actor. So as long as he stays alive for probably 10 years
10
altogether,
more years.
he should be good to go. But we're
Oh.
probably gonna get another situation where we're gonna have two Dumbledores. So sorry.
It's good. And watch it be, I don't want to jinx it, but watch it be the same exact timeline.
Yeah.
Like right after
season
Chamber of
2.
Secrets. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But maybe he doesn't die, but he just is like, he can't do it anymore, you know?
Yeah.
I don't
I
wish
can't-
that on him.
I can't
Interesting.
wait to see how they're gonna do the whole spew thing in live action with Hermione, you know. The house elf.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
I can't. Yeah.
It's gonna be so fun.
oh gosh.
Cannot wait.
Hey, maybe if the actors in a wheelchair, they could have some like handicap diversity, you know, for the show.
Harry's just jumping over. Leviosa.
I just thought of Batman in a wheelchair again. I love that clip.
That is so funny. He's just taking down guys and body slams with his freaking or the Doctor Who episode, recent Doctor Who character that was shooting missiles out of her freaking wheelchair.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I need to watch that.
Speaking of Doctor Who, a little side note here. Apparently there's a rumor that Ncuti Gatwa is quitting. And Doctor Who might be dead, like officially, like they're gonna cancel the whole thing.
Wow.
That would be a big win. That would be awesome. Who knows? if
Unless they
that's
just
true.
bring David Tennant back for another
Yeah.
reboot.
At this point, bringing Chris Evans back as Captain America would be the same thing.
Yeah.
You're never gonna be able to
The
recreate it.
damage is already done.
It's done. Yeah. All right. Exclusive. A beloved actor is poised to play a beloved Harry Potter character, and a gay one too. 6-time Emmy winner John Lithgow is in final negotiations to portray Professor Albus Dumbledore in HBO's high-profile series adaptation of the hugely popular fantasy books. Sources tell Deadline. HBO declines to comment. We appreciate that such a high-profile series will draw a lot of rumor and speculation, such as our choice for Severus Snape. The network said in a statement, as we make our way through pre-production, we will only confirm details as we finalize deals. The Harry Potter series, designed to run over a decade, there you go, comes from writer-showrunner Francesca Gardner, excuse me, and director executive producer Mark Mylod. Casey Bloys, chairman and CEO of HBO and Max Content at the time of the original announcement, called the show a faithful adaptation of J.K. Rowling's novels, which will dive deep into each of the iconic books. Sounds great at a glance, at face value. Powerful wizard Dumbledore is the headmaster of Hogwarts. We already know that. Dumbledore was betrayed by the late, which is going to happen again. While all of them are British or Irish, Lithgow is American. He's played British characters. He won the most recent of his 6 Emmy Awards for his portrayal of Winston Churchill on The Crown, and has been playing Roald Dahl on stage in London. That's a weird sentence. The Harry Potter TV series, which will be filmed at Warner Bros. Studios Leavesden, where the movies were shot, is slated to debut on HBO in late 2026 or early 2027. Lithgow is on track to be the first actor set for a project whose casting has attracted enormous interest. It's like the new MCU now. The rumor mill had been going into overdrive for months with speculation on who had played the book's most iconic characters. These rumors have ranged from Papa... Oh, that's the dude, for Snape, the black guy. And Sharon Horgan and Leslie Manville for Minerva McGonagall. I don't know who either of those are. To Brett Goldstein, I recognize the name, for Rubius Hagrid, and Oscar winner Cillian Murphy for Lord Voldemort, which honestly I'd be okay with. And Rafe Fiennes, that's his actual name, who played the role of the films backing the idea. Additionally, honestly, he could just play Voldemort again. But probably won't do that. Additionally, some 32,000 kids sent audition tapes for the lead roles of Harry, Hermione, and Ron, with the selection progressing. Lithgow, a 2-time Oscar nominee, co-stars in current Oscar contender Conclave. I need to see that still. I heard it's very good. That also includes Rafe Fiennes. He also, he's the main character. He also headlines the indie Jimpa, which just premiered at Sundance and stars opposite Jeffrey Rush in the upcoming The Rule of Jenny Penn. On TV, Lithgow was recently in a series regular on the FX, The Old Man, which I did watch some of. It was pretty good. And reprised his Emmy-winning Trinity role on Showtime's Dexter: New Blood. Dexter: New Blood. Sounds like a Twilight movie. He also is attached to narrate a potential Trinity Killer prequel series now in the works. Never heard of it. A 2-time Tony winner, Lithgow recently ended a sold-out run of Giant at London's Royal Court Theatre, playing Roald Dahl. The production will soon transfer to the Harold Pinter Theatre in the West End. Lithgow is currently narrating New York City's ballet's Carnival of the Animals. He wrote the narration in 2003, drawing on his illustrated children's book of the same name. Lithgow is repped by UTA, Anonymous Content, Hanson, Jacobson Teller, and Viewpoint. Wow, we got his whole life story here, I guess. All that to say, I guess he's qualified to play Dumbledore, but it's not official. Just a rumor. So there you go.
Yeah, that Ronald Dahl. I'm pretty sure that's who wrote like Willy Wonka and all those.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Can't remember what else he's done, but
I remember a while back we did one of our podcasts was about, we like casted the Harry Potter series, right? With Dryden.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what we put though for Dumbledore. I don't really remember now, but
I don't remember.
we did cast most of the main leads though, our main
Okay.
characters. So, yeah, I'm fine with it. I guess. Why not? Now for some horrible news, or not. Honestly, could be fun. Lord of the Ring. Okay, I'm not even gonna say that part. The Rings of Power renewed for season 3 at Prime Video. Yay!
It's
Yay!
not even. How do you even say Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power? Because it's like it's not the Lord of the Rings, the Hobbit. You know, it's just the Hobbit.
Yeah. I don't know what to tell you. The Rings of Power has been renewed for season 3. The renewal isn't a surprise. That's debatable. As season 2 ended on some major cliffhangers. I love how like everything is just guaranteed a sequel now at this point. Movies, shows, doesn't matter. Everything is guaranteed now a sequel.
Except for Acolyte.
Except for Acolyte. That's true.
Praise be.
And cliffhangers to who?
We celebrate wins when we get them. Yeah, major cliffhangers. They're going to build Rivendell. That's it, I think.
Oh,
Maybe.
that's literally the whole season?
I think that was the only cliffhanger. Sauron lived, and Sauron will return in the Lord of the Rings.
It's like if you know the Lord of the Rings, then you know what they're trying
Major
to do.
cliffhanger is Elrond and Galadriel gonna hook up next season? Find out next time.
Uh,
No thanks.
pass.
Why aren't Elrond and Galadriel together in the Lord of the Rings series?
Yeah, there will be a video out there that explains that. Well, you see, he actually marries her daughter, and they have a child named Arwen, who's from Lord of the Rings, played by Liv Tyler. She was in the recent Marvel film, Captain America: Brave New World. Just for a moment, though, she kind of looked a little CGI, but it was okay.
They also had a second daughter who's bisexual.
She plays Betty, his daughter. Anyways, have you heard from Betty, my daughter?
Have you heard from Betty?
Oh, I thought you were talking about a different Betty. Sorry. The sophomore.
Get off my submarine.
Yeah, I preferred him as that president, not this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Major cliffhangers that seem to tease that a third season was inevitable. The sophomore season of the Lord of the... That's such a weird sophomore season. What is this, high school? Like what?
Yeah,
I've never heard this.
Is.
So we... Okay. The sophomore season of the Lord of the Rings prequel premiered on... No, it's not a prequel. Premiered on Prime Video on August 29th and finished its run on October 3rd. It ended with Sauron, Charlie Vickers, amassing an army of orcs and defeating the elves at their stronghold, Eregion. I mean, yeah. Wasn't that difficult. Probably shouldn't have lasted that long.
Then again,
because they had the super trebuchets, you know.
Oh yeah.
Knock down that boulder, you knock down the whole city. However, the elves and dwarves stand united against the Dark Lord, and they have their own powerful rings to stand against him. Wait till they find out. There's only one ring to rule them all. The third season is now in pre-production at its new home base, Shepperton Studios, just outside London. The new season expected to begin shooting this spring. Rings of Power continues to No. we're thrilled that a third season is underway. Head of television for Amazon MGM Studios. The creative team has an extraordinary vision of what's to come with stories that have left us enchanted and enthralled. We look forward to continuing this epic journey for our global customers, delving even deeper into the legendary tales that shape Middle Earth. What else can you rape from Lord of the Rings? We'll find out. Charlotte Brainstrom, who was a co-executive producer and directed multiple episodes on season 1 and 2, will be an executive producer and director for the third season, for the junior season. Sana Hamri will also return to direct with veteran director. Okay, I don't care. The Rings of Power is Hale's oh my gosh. Is Hale's showrunners and executive producers JD Payne and Patrick McKay, Lindsay Weber, Justin Doble, Kate Hazel, and Brain Fart also executive
Modoc.
produced. Modoc, yes. Matthew Penry Davey is producer and blah 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 blah.
What are all these names?
Well, there you go. People we don't care about. These last two articles. I love journalism.
Hires.
I love journalism. They act like this is a full article. It's just a fluff. It's another fluff piece. All that to say, it's renewed for season 3. Fantastic.
Get this off my screen.
Can't wait to talk about that at some point.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right.
I mean, at this point, it's just more like, okay, it's such a joke that it's more just fun to talk about how much of a joke it is than.
I know. It is mind melting when you have to write a note for everything that's said in a show just because everything spewed out of their mouths is bad. You say, oh my gosh, it's just everything is horrible. Every decision they make, it's man. Oh look, there's 2 of me.
How are there 2 of you?
I don't know.
That's weird.
So, okay, bye.
I'm still here. I'm sorry. I have to take my my beats outside.
Fair enough.
I'll keep my headphones on.
All right, we'll get started here. So, Copetain America. Cope. There's a lot of cope in this. Brave New Low, Brave New Loss, whatever you want to call it. This movie just came out, and it was rough. It was really rough. So I guess we'll just kind of walk through it. First of all, there was no intro, which is the first time ever, I think, in a Marvel movie where we haven't gotten an intro. Which honestly, it's more of a factoid than anything. It's just
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, I was saying even my
all new,
neighbor
all different,
Spider-Man got a little bit of an intro.
Yeah, that's true. Honestly, it's fitting though. Yeah, all new, all different Marvel. Why? Don't worry about the old stuff. It doesn't matter. Kill the past. Or what does he say? Forget the past. Kill it if you have to. That's pretty much what happens here. We got a new Captain America. Therefore, the old one doesn't matter anymore. I already said it, but the first line, pretty much the first line mentioned, is from Betty, from my daughter. Yep. Yes. Your daughter, Betty.
Oh.
Yep. That's who I was talking about. You're right.
You mean
we also,
because we don't know who Betty is.
Right. Yeah. We don't know who Betty is. It is sad seeing, first of all, Harrison Ford is one of the greatest actors ever. He's fantastic. But he should not be acting anymore. He's it's like Jack Black, like just phoning in every single role they play now. They're just being themselves on screen, and they don't really care anymore. They just don't care. I think it's more noticeably bad him being Ross because of how long we got what's his name? Holt. I can't believe I'm so bad with names. Who played Thunderbolt? William Hurt. Yes, William Hurt.
Yeah.
Who did a great job as Ross. He really embodied that character.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not the same character at all. He didn't even try to make it even like somewhat sound like the original character, you know, or like he even did things that wouldn't make sense. Like, okay, they were trying to make it seem like he's turning over a new leaf and everything. He's changing. But even the times where he was like slipping back into old Ross, it was still like, it felt like I was watching a new character. I wasn't thinking at all about Thunderbolt Ross. I was thinking about Harrison Ford. That's it.
Right.
Yeah. So that's bizarre. It is also kind of weird. I didn't finish Secret Invasion. I never will. But the whole there was a president in Secret Invasion, a US president. And you finished it, right? So you kind of remember what happened, but they tried to make him out to be the bad guy, of course, and he's like, I'm literally saving the world from this invading these invading aliens. And Fury was like, those kind of things are only, or I can't remember how he worded it exactly, but it was like, that sounds like a one-term president to me, you know, basically.
Yeah.
So he's obviously not president anymore. And so now Ross somehow is president, which doesn't really make sense considering his role so far in the MCU. But I guess he's president. And he doesn't even last more than 100 I guess slightly more than 100 days as president. So who's president now? Does he have, we didn't see a VP or anything like
acting president, Captain Falcon.
I guess he's just taken over America.
Yeah.
It also is bizarre. I don't want to get too ahead of myself here, but it's bizarre that he wants Sam to run the Avengers when really that's counterintuitive to what the Sokovia Accords were put in place for. Right. So the government should be the ones putting in place the Avengers then at this point, not Sam Wilson.
Right. Yeah, it makes sense based on what Ross said about changing his mind, but it doesn't make sense that you would do that you would make that decision for him to change his mind.
Especially considering what happened last time in that abomination of a show, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Yeah, I mean that they try to be like, oh, I was given the shield, but it doesn't matter. The government owns it. They technically Steve stole it, right? In the first Avenger, I can't remember. Tyler will have to, or Blue will have to confirm that. It's been a while since I've seen those, but yeah, that it just it's weird. It just doesn't make sense at all why they would choose him to create the Avengers. But anyways, that's kind of getting ahead of it a bit. So so he becomes president.
Yeah. My first note that I wrote was celestial because of the news anchor being like the giant celestial.
Oh, yeah, you gotta love that.
Whoa, how does this
even beyond that? How does this random news anchor know all the deets? With freaking Harlem, what happened in Incredible Hulk? How does he know? Like, what? How do they know what? How Ross was involved in that whole situation? Because Ross tried to pin it on this guy, right? I already forgot his name, Stearns.
Yeah.
So how did they know he was even involved in that whole situation? That was all kept secret. How does he know Betty Ross and Bruce Banner were a thing. That was extremely random. Betty Ross, Bruce Banner's ex-girlfriend. It's like it was exposition for the audience through a news anchor on national television. It made no
Yeah.
sense at all.
Somebody said that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I'm so sick of movies thinking we are stupid, you know?
Did you say you had to ask me a question about Captain America?
Oh,
Yeah, how did Captain
what happened with the
America?
shield in the end again? Did he, because the shield is technically owned by the government.
I mean, he
But
was
then
frozen, but
then he took it on that mission, I guess, and then he was frozen in the
so
ice.
in the
So
first one, he gets it from Howard Stark, right?
right. Yeah.
And then, yeah, they don't go over it in the first movie actually,
Yeah.
because at the end he wakes up and he wakes up in New York, and then it's him and Nick Fury talking, and that's it.
Right.
But you're right, he does steal it at some point. I know
Oh,
that he does.
and I was also going to mention Nick Fury is still alive and well. Well, I don't know about well, but he's alive. So if anybody were to put together the Avengers
Uncle
again,
Sam? Uncle
it would
Sam
be
is alive and well?
Yeah. It would be Nick Fury, not freaking Sam Wilson.
right.
Sam Wilson would be on the Avengers, but he would not be the one leading or putting it together. It would be freaking Nick Fury, obviously. So that doesn't make any sense. But
Scroll.
yeah, the cope is real. Right off the bat, we hear Captain America. Oh, here you go, Cap. Thanks, Cap. Hey, Captain America. Blah blah blah. They don't ever say Sam. They just say Captain America. It's so overtly in your face. Trying that the movie, Mahler said it best. The movie is so insecure about itself. They desperately want you to know that this is Captain America.
They're
You
just
can't
copying what they did in the first one, because they do that in the first one.
Yes.
Like Steve, Rogers, and then he
But that's his
gets
name though. Like
injected.
this.
No,
yeah.
I know, but then he gets injected, and it's like, "Hey, Captain America."
'Cause
Like,
But
right? Well,
the
'cause
the difference
Yeah.
is he, and we kind of talked about it already, touched on
and
it,
it
but
starts as a joke. It
he
starts as a joke.
he earns that. Yeah, that's true because he really wasn't like a hero. He was more
Actual
of a
captain.
mascot at that point.
Yeah.
Yes. But he created the persona of Captain America because Captain America is him. It just it's not, and I've said that, like, okay, I'm so tired of the whole mantle thing. Bruce Wayne is Batman. You truly cannot have the same exact Batman, the real Batman, without Bruce Wayne. Obviously, from a Secret Identity, and same thing with like Superman and Clark Kent, right? Or Spider-Man and Peter Parker. Obviously, those are a little bit different because they have a secret identity. Bruce Wayne is the persona that he creates. That's not really who he is. Who he really is Batman. Batman is the person. Bruce Wayne is the persona. In this case, there is no secret identity. Steve Rogers equals Captain America. He's literally just being himself with a costume on. They don't even need to call him Captain America. They can just call him Steve Rogers and it would mean the same thing.
Yeah.
This is a costume. It is it's like he's wearing a corpse. He's just walking around like, please, I'm Captain America. And in reality,
Look, I have the round circular frisbee. It's me. I'm Captain America.
In reality, he would have to prove it to people that he is worthy to be Captain America. People would be skeptical about it. But the movie is so desperate to shove a message that they have to, nope, he's Captain America. Everybody knows it. Move on.
Yeah.
And it's not just at the beginning. This is throughout the entire movie. They keep pushing this. So.
Not to mention, it's like the world doesn't really know that Captain America came back old and
Yeah, how would they know
passed
any of
it
that?
off. It's like we'd be just watching the TV and be like, "Oh,
Wait a
Why
minute.
is-
Why is he got Captain America's shield? What the heck?
Does that
Yeah.
beg the
That's
question
Falcon.
that Sam could still talk to him? Did he die?
They'll never tell us. There was a
Also, I feel like
funeral in the trailer, but it never actually got into the movie.
okay. I also feel
So who
like
knows what that was?
how did he get old?
he
Yeah,
went
because
back to-
Bucky's still
No, like
Bucky's
he's
Bucky
regenerative.
looks exactly the
Mm.
same.
He should never have gotten old.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was always confused by that, but I wasn't like I didn't know the answer. Like canon like
I think
I
it's
don't know.
stupid.
I don't know how
Which,
that
like,
works, but
Which just goes to show you like that's an easier explanation to just like keeping him as Captain America. He could have gone through like some major accident in Endgame that changes the actors, right? Like deforms him, whatever, but he regenerates into different Steve Rogers, but it's still Steve Rogers. But this was like, oh, actually, you know what? We're gonna make a regenerative superhuman. He's gonna become old, actually, and then we're gonna pass it on to this guy. Like, I feel like that was really thought out, and now they're regretting it. Hopefully,
it wasn't that thought out because looking back, all of us were kind of like, wait, what? When he handed the shield to Sam Wilson. Because it made 0 sense. And I think we've talked about this a gazillion times here, but Bucky's entire it makes more sense when you think about the fact that Sam Wilson is already found himself. He's already established himself as a hero. He's already established himself as a good person. He has nothing to prove in terms of being a hero. He's got a great thing going on. Not to mention, Falcon is the second black character in Marvel Comics. He's a very well established character. People love him, and he can stand on his own merit. He doesn't need a white guy's mantle, you know. Of course, we won't get into that, but that's incredibly racist, I think. You Falcon has become just a hand me down at this point. He just gives it away like it's nothing. So he's already established. Where on the other hand, Bucky and Steve are two guys on the same path that go different ways. Bucky gets brainwashed, and he, of course, has the same exact powers. He's a good man. He fought side by side with Steve. He's redeemed, and he has a chance to put away the Winter Soldier altogether because the Winter Soldier represents the destructive person he was, the person who killed Iron Man's parents, Tony's parents, person who killed all those innocent people. He has the chance now to put that all away and take on Captain America, be a better person. And he embodies those same traits. He's not quite Steve, and I still think Steve should be Captain America, but if you're going to give it to anybody, he's already got the serum and everything.
Be a better person or go into politics is what he ended up.
Yeah,
choosing.
Congressman Barnes.
Yeah.
I having just watched Captain America: The First Avenger, there's even foreshadowing when Bucky gets knocked off the train. How does he get knocked off to the train? He picks up the shield and deflects a blast from a Hydra soldier.
Not to mention the first moment we see Winter Soldier truly in the Captain America Winter Soldier is when he catches the freaking shield with his hand.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me that's not foreshadowing. Crazy.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like they were setting it up. Like, you can't tell me they planned all of these movies for all these years with like knowing what's going.
Of course, especially
amount
back
of years,
then they
right?
had a plan for sure. Yeah.
Right. And then they get to this point and they go,
Let's change.
all right, all of this stuff, let's change it. Like, that's what happened. I know.
And that's why
for a
it
fact
feels
that's what happened.
forced, because when you plan something, it feels natural.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel natural. Also, it's crazy how much they tried to recreate that movie in this. all the street scenes and everything. They tried so hard to recreate the fight scene between Bucky and Steve in Winter Soldier with the knife fight, where he flips the knife all cool. Yeah. Anyways, He's not Captain America.
No.
We already mentioned when he does his Superland splat legs, 100%. This is the first of many times that he died in this movie.
Yeah. Same scene where
But-
he's picking up and slugging bricks or cement blocks everywhere
Yeah,
and
cinder
getting
blocks.
cinder
He picks up
blocks.
cinder blocks and starts breaking them over people.
Right.
Yeah. If anybody has ever had, if the term plot armor ever applied, it is in this movie.
hmm Well, and at first I was like, okay, maybe he has like an enhanced suit or something, but literally you can see the fabric like wrinkle and then it gets
Yeah.
cut.
I know. Yeah, his
Yep.
suit randomly gets cut, and then they just kind of, all right, let's throw this suit away. Let's use this one now.
He's fighting a bad guy and he gets a knife like stab in his chest.
Oh,
And
we'll
then
get to that.
Oh,
We'll get to
oh,
that.
okay.
I want to
sorry.
talk about that scene because it is one of the worst scenes in the movie.
Well, because it's one of 3 scenes for one character.
Yes, this is true. Another character, another moment in the MCU where they tried to force something that didn't really fit into the whole movie. So they go down to Mexico to collect this adamantium. Well, they don't mention it at the beginning, but it's some adamantium. Oh man, it gets so bad. What happened with the stupid adamantium, man? So they're trying to collect this stolen adamantium, and we of course get the new Falcon, and he looks horrible in his suit. It looks so bad. Like a puke green, kind of like Halo, like Master Chief, but like super duper scrawny. Like why not just give him like the Falcon suit?
Because that's Sam Wilson's.
Yeah.
And he had like, you know, Sam had the Ant-Man mask. He had the Wasp mask apparently. Man, that looked horrible.
We only have it in men's large and women's medium. No, I have to take the women's medium. Sorry.
Yeah. So he looks horrible. But they go down to Mexico and they meet this this assassin named Sidewinder, who is played by Giancarlo Esposito.
Giancarlo Esposito.
He was put in last minute. He even said he described it as this movie was a boiling pot of soup and I was thrown in last minute and burned alive and had
He actually said that?
that's how he explained it. And you could tell the entire point of his character was exposition. That's it. Was just explaining the main villain, who was even worse than he was. There was his entire point of his character, but he's it's like they kind of recreated the scene from Age of Ultron. Where they're like, screw the Avengers, we're gonna stay and fight, and he's like, we're abandoning ship, the Avengers here, so pack your things. Remember that part at the very beginning of Age of Ultron?
Yes.
It felt kind of like that, where he was just like, oh shoot, Captain America is here. And this is kind of, this is obviously where we see him should have broken his legs. It is where we first get to see Sam Wilson, Captain America. How's he doing? Like, is he good, or is he a good Captain America? What's his power set? All that stuff. We get to really see it on full display. His first appearance really as Captain America. And it is very inconsistent. He fights off like, I don't know, 10 guys. No problem. Yeah, you were saying he's taking cinder blocks, hitting them over the head and all this stuff. And then a slightly bigger guy fights him and kicks his butt. Just totally puts him on his butt. literally puts him on his butt. And Steve had, I can do this all day. He has, let's hurry up and get this done. I got stuff to do. That was his motivational line.
Also an overused trope, just like was that a good enough speech?
Yes. Yeah, I know. And then he fights Sidewinder. This guy, and I don't even. Yeah, he gets away. Right. He gets away initially. I don't remember
Yeah.
exactly how it happened. And then the Navy SEALs or whatever show up, and they're like, "Good job, Captain America," and all that kind of stuff. And here we go again, more of this. Never thought we'd get another Captain America, but here we are. Also all sorts of fun dialogue. And
So
yeah, that's the beginning of that. Then we get the whole
White House scene.
well, not to mention more cringy dialogue from the new Falcon when he beat those two guys up and collected the package. He was like, "Yeah, whoa!" Like he was like acting like he did something cool. Like I hate that. Like I just did that. Wow.
So crazy.
Yeah. He could have been like, of course, nobody's, like he did the whole, nobody saw me, of course. He could have just been like, legitimately did something cool and be like, package secured, be done. It would have been better.
Mhm.
Then they brought up the Celestial. Here we go. Yep. Finally announced the Celestial again. We got the whole exposition about Bruce Banner's ex-girlfriend, all that. Harlem. It was more of like in case you forgot about this movie from 15 years ago, here you go.
It was to remind the directors and the producers of it. They're like, "Oh yeah, shoot."
Well,
Forgot about that.
nobody would have thought to rewatch that movie for this. Like I never would have thought to do that. In fact, I kind of forgot about the leader. Except they put the flashback of him from the Incredible Hulk where he's transforming into the leader. That's the only reason I remembered him. I'm like, oh yeah, yeah. I haven't watched that movie in ages.
I think Disney used to do this thing where when a new movie was coming out, they would have like a list of all the relevant movies that you should watch
Right. Yeah.
that kind of lead up to that character's movie.
Yeah.
It's like, what's Eternals doing here? Oh, yeah.
So we finally get the payoff from Eternals, I guess. And somehow they created adamantium, I guess, when she turned it to when she turned it to stone or whatever she did. I guess she
Yep.
turned it to adamantium, apparently. Which is a made up substance, I guess, at this point, right?
Yeah. It's made up.
Which is interesting because then that means Wolverine definitely doesn't exist. Wolverine exists, but he still has the bone claws at this point. He's not he doesn't got his shell yet, his adamantium bones. So they want to do this whole peace summit with all these different countries in the world, and of course, they can't
It's
do
the
China.
G20 with Viola Davis.
Yes. They of course can't say, "Oh, China, we want to make a deal with China, so we're going to do Japan randomly."
Yeah.
Japan is
the little island
right, and
that we have the
Neurotic.
best relationship with.
Right, exactly. They're our ally. Neurotic made a funny observation, which is they have what was it, like a sixth or something of our navy,
Yeah.
something like that, like crazy amount, so much smaller. I mean, obviously post World War II, their whole military was, I I don't know about dismantled, but like severely lowered.
Impaired.
Yeah, there's no way they could go up against anybody. It's not, let alone the United States military. So that's good research, guys. Good job.
My favorite fact that I'm just gonna bring up here is the United
Yeah.
States has the number one Air Force in the world, right?
Yeah.
The number two is actually the United States Navy. They have the second strongest Air Force in the world.
Yes.
So
Yes, I did know
I just
that.
want
Yeah.
to kind of put that in perspective there for the rest of the world.
I know.
When you have Japan, who is the sixth of our U.S. Navy, who has the number two strongest Air Force in the world. So yeah, I
Yep.
just kind of want to throw that out there.
That's funny.
Good addition. So Sam gets invited to the White House. He's like hanging out with Isaiah Bradley, who they definitely de-aged a bit in this movie from Falcon and
I
the
was
Winter
thinking
Soldier.
that. Yeah, you mentioned that to me actually.
And then we saw a clip, and I'm like, yeah, he's got wrinkles all over his face in that show. They like totally de-aged him. Anyways, we get another moment where they're like, audience equals stupid, where he's on the phone, and you know, when you would normally get a call from somebody and like, can you please hold? You'd be like, yeah, sure. That's all you would say, not yes, I'll hold for the president.
Right.
But they of course had to put that in there so that Isaiah Bradley would be like and walk away. I can't believe Captain America is working with the U.S. government. Yeah.
Can't believe Captain America is working with America.
Unreal.
So that was another eye roller. But of course, so he gets invited to the White House. He convinces Isaiah to come with, and then of course, Mexican Falcon. And so they come, they have this whole, you know, we're bros. In a limo, they get to the White House. They get inside and they make a really big deal out of the taking pictures on their phone. This was so dumb. The whole flashing light thing. So, oh my gosh. So, anyways, they get into the war room, or not the war room, sorry, like the East Wing, I guess. It was the East Wing of the White House. And very secure, obviously. It's the White House. And the president comes out to give this. It's a summit, basically. It's a summit for a treaty with all these different countries surrounding the Celestial, which is in the Indian Ocean, again, far removed from Japan. But anyways, so something happens. There's this music playing, and certain people start going berserk, including Isaiah Bradley. He grabs a gun, he starts shooting at Ross, and everybody's trying to kill Ross, which later I found out, like, the leader didn't actually want to kill the president. So why was everybody shooting at the president? Why would you not just like attack the president hand to hand combat, you know?
Yeah, that did make sense.
Or
Also,
just like take out the other leaders, like throw disarray among everybody else.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know.
it was also horrible acting, or well, maybe this was part of the plot, but the bad guys were literally just like it was like they were frozen and waiting for Captain America or the Secret Service to take them down, and they weren't shooting.
There
I
are
think
so
that was
many
part
dumb
of the
things.
programming, but also I
Yeah.
kind of want to
Yeah.
point out, like, the whole plot of who will get to the main antagonist was not to kill Ross. So why is he trying to kill Ross?
It
in
is the most
beginning?
convoluted, lame revenge plot I have ever seen in a movie.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll get into that more, but like remember that at the beginning he tries to kill him when
Right.
that's not actually his plan. So like
Uh,
it's pointless.
It was like to start up the whole antagonist story, plus maybe put Isaiah Bradley in a bad light, where Isaiah Bradley's character didn't really mean anything after that. So what was the point of Isaiah Bradley's character?
Yeah.
the leader was also part of the KKK, so he really just wanted to push more racism and divisiveness. So obviously, no. Did you notice too, Isaiah? I mean, that guy's pretty old. The actor that they made it looked so robotic when he was running. He's like, it looks so bad, jumping out the window and everything, running across the park. Yeah, that was so stupid, making a big deal out of his suit and everything. Yeah, that whole scene was horrible. And at first I'm like, is this like the super soldier thing again? Like the thing they did to Winter Soldier is the Winter Soldier program all over again? Come to find out, no, it's just some random song thing that like gets them, sets them off, and of course blinking lights on a phone. You keep that too. And all he needs is your medical records. But we'll get to that. So, we get our first look at Captain Israel, who's not actually Captain Israel, because that would be divisive and wrong to include Israel. So we're not going to do that. So instead, we're going to make her a Black Widow, and also head of security for the White House when she looks like she's 12.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and looks like she would break by
Oh my
blowing.
gosh. So she apparently had cancer when she was a kid, and so she had like very stunted growth, but it's like, okay, but
the actress.
But why did you cast her in this role? It's such an odd choice. It's another unrealistic thing that are always in these movies. But so she's supposed to be Captain Israel. She's supposed to be actually a mutant in the comics, but of course that would be controversial. So instead, we're just going to make her a Black Widow. And they later on they tried to recreate the whole ScarJo scene in Iron Man 2 going down the hallway, and it did not pan out the same way at all. It reminded me of Rebel Moon, where they did the whole slow motion lightsaber fight or whatever. It was so bad. So yeah, she's supposed to be some badass Black Widow. We get her a little introduction. She flips somebody over with a chair. A really big guy. She just knocks his feet right out from under him. So
yeah,
we get a little introduction, and Captain America runs after Isaiah Bradley and tells him he needs to stop. And he's like, I can't go back to prison. He's like, well, you gotta. Anyways, Nerdrotic was like, the most surprising part of the scene is that the cops didn't start shooting him.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but when they were like handcuffing him and Falcon was like, take it easy. It's like he's a super soldier. I'm sure he can take a little bit of roughness from regular non-super soldier people.
But the suit, we can't get the suit dirty, so
right.
Later on, the leader says there was an 89% probability that Falcon would not get involved in this investigate or wouldn't investigate further. And that's what foiled his plan was Sam getting involved in doing his own little investigation, which then he found out about Red Hulk and all that. That was his big plan that got foiled. And I don't know, maybe you could probably get Sam Wilson's medical records and mind control Sam Wilson. But no, we're not going to do that. We'll just let Falcon ruin all of his plans.
Was there any DNA or anything else that he had on these soldiers to be able to do this?
It's all medical records because they're soldiers, which Sam Wilson also was in the Air Force, so he could have gotten.
He was okay. Yeah,
and so is Joaquin Phoenix, whatever his name is. He's
Joaquin
also in the
Phoenix.
military.
The
Or he
Sparrow.
could have gotten his.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Sparrow. Made no
Yeah.
sense. Like if
Alright,
you're
yeah,
trying to take down Ross, maybe like I don't know, get some big players in the game here and mind control them.
not to
What a
mention
like dumb plan.
maybe you wouldn't frame Isaiah Bradley if you didn't want to get Falcon involved.
Exactly.
Captain America
There's an
involved.
89% chance that you won't investigate this further.
If I don't involve Isaiah, it's 100%.
And of course, if you literally tell him that, he's gonna be like, "Well, yeah, I'm doing this." So, anyways, then he comes back. He storms into the freaking like vault of the White House, like the war room. Somehow, like the one of the most secure places on Earth, he somehow gets in there, and they're like, "Sir, you need to stop. You can't be in here." But they don't actually like do anything to stop him. They just kind of like
Right.
grab his shoulders, and somehow, and then he gets in, and the president's like, "Everybody out except for him." No, he's kind of got a good reason to be pissed off at you right now.
Right. Even if he was somebody you trusted a lot, he's
You're the
coming in
president of the United
angry.
States. Yeah, this guy is
You don't know if he's unhinged or what happened to him.
right. Wild. Just really stupid writing. Then he gets in there and Black Widow 2.3.0 comes in there and she stays too. And then old Ross, I guess, comes out and we get a moment that was in the trailer where he's like, "You're not Steve Rogers." And in the trailer, he's like, "You're right. I'm not." Could have been a moment like, "Yeah, I'm not Steve Rogers. I'm trying to make my own path here. I'm trying to be something. I'm trying to aspire to what he was." Nope, he just gets really pissed. And then he storms out and he's like, "He called me son." Okay. Aren't you like supposed to be Captain America or something? Like, get over yourself. So
Yeah.
there goes
And
that.
they tried to make that line like some big dramatic moment in the trailer. And then in the movie it was just kind of like this just feels like misplaced. Like why would he say that there? It's
Yeah. I know. Yeah, there I think it was heel versus babyface was like we find out he's got a contact in the White House. I wonder who it is. Which one is it?
the only one a brother can trust.
Exactly. Then we find out he's got like a lair, like a Captain America hideout
Oh yeah, with the Sparrow.
with a giant A on it. Like, what? I thought you couldn't get a bank loan. What happened? Is this man bothering you? Do you
I
know who
forgot
this
that.
is?
Dude,
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't
oh, I'm
recognize
so
you
sorry.
without the wigs because you all look the same.
Oh man.
Oh man, what happened? I guess he got a loan. 'Cause now he's got a nice truck. He's got multiple
Well,
suits.
he had a nice
Had a
truck.
nice
He had a
truck.
nice truck. That's true. Yeah. What like wild, whatever. That came out of nowhere. But he's got a lair. And they decide that they're gonna go investigate this. And I forget how they got the lead, but they find out about this camp, this place called secret
Yeah.
location
Oh.
called Camp Echo 1.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure they got the phone from Giancarlo.
Oh, yes, sorry. First, yes, before we get to the lair, he gets attacked on the road in his nice truck by Giancarlo Esposito. It comes out of nowhere. How did you find him? Oh, he's gonna be coming down this road at this time. Like, how did that happen? Isn't that the most like random thing ever that he just showed up there? Like seriously, bizarre. Just happened to be driving. Just happened to figure out the exact location Sam would be turning on. Whatever. Blows up the truck. Somehow he jumps out in time, and then we get this epic Winter Soldier-esque fight, and he gets stabbed in the chest with a knife, which Bluey talked about. Bluey, you can talk about it. Sounds like you had a lot to say about this.
Yeah, I'm upset about it because it's stupid. So they're fighting, and first of all, this Giancarlo Esposito, I love the guy. I think he's a
Good actor.
Great actor.
He's just Moff Gideon
Iconic
now and
voice.
everything.
Moff Gideon or Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad,
where he had his breakout.
Or that show Revolution. He was in. That's where he got started, maybe. But he was good in there.
Yeah. Anyways, fantastic. Comes out of nowhere and just starts shredding this beautiful truck. And Nick and I, we lean over to each other and we're like, man, that was a nice truck. Shame it's got to go like that. Anyways, they do some movie magic to where he's not in the truck anymore when it blows up. You know,
Super
classic superhero movie magic. Anyways, they go to hand-to-hand combat, and Sam Wilson.
If you want to call it that, yeah.
Sure. Sam Wilson gets stabbed in the chest, like right here.
Like the lung. Like
right here. Right? All right. And then
bleeding out.
So he's got a knife in his chest, and then he gets like a hatchet to the side, to the gut. Just like right?
Right.
Bro shakes it off. Now, mind you, this is Sam Wilson, a normal human being in civilian clothes. Okay? Got to remember that. All right? And then they fight some more. They run around. They get off the street. You know, like Biggie said, they're trying to make it, you know, like Winter Soldier street fights. Or just outside Chicago. Anyways, so they go off to the alley, and all of a sudden
he pours like what is he, like pours something liquid over acid.
Batteries.
Car battery acid.
Yeah. And it starts like fumigating. And
he'd probably be poisoned.
It doesn't really do anything like in the context of the fight. Like it just is like green haze on the screen. But it doesn't actually, it's not like actually effective for anything. If any, I don't remember, right?
Well, he comes out of nowhere, like flies, like literally flies out of nowhere.
Without a suit.
Through the smoke. So there's a smoke screen for that, I guess.
Smoke screen. Okay.
Yeah.
But then the best part, he happens to give the same exact chest injury to the Sidewinder. Right in the same spot with the same knife. Okay. Completely incapacitated. Like that's all it took.
To be fair, he did just get bashed into a car, but my boy was walking around with a knife. Like, oh no.
And Sidewinder's gasping for air. He's like, because his lungs popped.
And he was just like on the phone. Yeah. No
I
big
was
deal.
like,
walk it off.
Dude, that's so
fly it off. Yeah.
So that stuck out to me. And then actually
I wrote, I think he has knives in him. Exclamation points.
That was like scene number 4 where Sam Wilson should have died.
Yes.
But I think there was like a throwaway line when he meets back up with Sidewinder later in the movie for like intel, and they say something about Kevlar.
Yeah, he had a Kevlar. It's like John Wick at this point. He had a Kevlar shirt, but the knife still went through your your body.
Still went through. Like,
there was no
he had
blade
bandages. Well, he had bandages and everything too, because he goes back to that's when he goes to Joaquin and they're in their hideout, right?
So,
I think so.
Yeah.
Somebody found out about Kevlar. And they're like, oh, this is like a really strong substance. So So
Yeah.
even if you get stabbed, you should be fine.
No.
It should bounce off then if that's what you're trying to go for.
It went all the way through. In the next scene after the fight, he's got a full bandage on his chest and on his side, where he got a knife through the lung and a hatchet through the
to the
side.
intestines. Like literally, you'd be like, stuff would be flowing out of him at this point.
Oh gosh.
Reminder:
2 fatal
normal
wounds.
human being.
Yeah.
No super
serum.
serum.
They bring that up so many
Oh,
times.
yeah.
They really want you to know he's just a regular guy,
Yeah.
and he's Captain
Yep.
America.
And that's the problem.
Also, that gun that Giancarlo Sidewinder had, ooh, that was a sweet
Oh,
gun.
the rhino? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Then we get our first introduction to the leader, and Mahler says it best. The leader is just Thrawn. He's just Thrawn. Every moment where his plans don't go according to plan, he says, "Well, yes, I calculated this. I knew this would happen." He's literally just Thrawn. Probably the worst villain. I think Whiplash was a better villain in Iron Man 2 than this guy.
Oh, I'd say so for sure. Yeah. I
It's
think
horrible.
Whiplash was better than a lot of villains.
Yeah,
He was just
Yeah.
underutilized.
it's true. So, yeah, we get our little, quick view of the leader on the phone, on the other end of the phone. And now Giancarlo Esposito's completed his first purpose in the film, which was to introduce the main bad. So yeah, he just walked it off. No big deal. All good.
All good in the hood.
Then of course they get to the lair. We talked about that. Then they find out using that phone, they tracked the location to this Camp Echo 1 secret location. But of course, he wanted them to find out. He wanted him to beat up whatever his name is, Sidebender, and get the phone and find the location to this camp so that he can explain why he doesn't like Ross to Captain America. Captain. He calls him Captain. Hello, Captain.
Yeah, before that, could we just talk about how in Air Force One, Harrison Ford on the treadmill, just like
I know.
wheezing, trying to stay alive.
This was more for him than,
Right.
than anything else. Oh my gosh,
God.
yeah, I forgot about that scene. You're right. That is the next spot, because then the insider in the White House was like, "Sir, we can't track them. They left their smartphones home." So you're telling me all the
Yeah.
U.S. government needs to track us as smartphones? Wow. Okay.
Oh.
What a breakthrough. They don't have their smartphones. What a dumb line. This is the U.S. government. I think they'd be able to find anybody if they wanted to.
Some Gen
But
Z
okay.
writer put that in.
Yeah. I don't have my smartphone. So logic. Then of course, they get there.
Driving an EV truck.
Driving an
Looked
EV
like
truck.
into
He's
the
like,
woods.
screw that gasoline. It blows up. I'm getting an electric vehicle. Yeah, he can afford an electric vehicle now. And he's got a, what did you call it? A frunk? A frunk?
Frunk.
A frunk? He's got a frunk. And the only thing he's putting in the frunk is his shield
Mm-hmm.
for a dramatic opening. Ah! And there's the shield. But they didn't like wear their suits or anything. They weren't ready for like combat because they were going to like a sketchy location where a potential villain is going to be. But I guess let's not wear our suits. And then of course they get in somehow. It's really stupid how they got in. It was very loud and definitely would have attracted attention, but they got in, and of course we get our grand reveal of the leader, and he looks horrible. Everybody had the same thought: broccoli.
Broccoli.
broccoli. My man looked horrible. They couldn't even make him look cool. Like, geez, you did him dirty. So yeah, anyways, we get big reveal. He of course tells the entire plan that he had, and we find out that he can just control everybody. I also love the whole the phone flashing thing. It's so stupid and obvious what happened. Everybody figures it out in like 2 seconds. Even in the movie, they're like, "Oh, no way. That must be what's happening actually." So yeah, that's silly. And then of course they fight their way out, and then these cops show up, military police, and he's like, "You already have one cap in custody." It's like, no. Stop. No.
Yeah, speaking of that, when the Black Widow was taking Isaiah Bradley to solitary, he's like, "You don't really think that I'm guilty or whatever?" And she's like, "I don't know."
No.
What?
And somehow he didn't get
Stupid.
killed from that other mind controlled guard who was killing all the.
Yeah.
Like, what was the point of all that? It was just
Why wouldn't you start
random.
with Isaiah Bradley?
I know we're running short in time here, so I want to kind of hurry through this, but definitely tried to make him seem like Trump. It was so clear as day that they were really trying to make Ross Trump. But anyways, we basically we're on our way to the peace summit on the Celestial Island, they're calling it. And by the way, the Japan Prime Minister is an idiot because he accused Ross of stealing the adamantium in the first place, and he's like, "Where'd you get this is so obviously you're being played." And he's like, "I guess we'll never find out." What do you mean you'll never find out?
So you're just gonna start war with your strongest
Yeah, let's
ally?
just start World War III. Who cares? I guess we'll never find out, but
You hurt my feelings. I'm gonna be an emotional leader instead of a rational leader.
Yeah. And then later on, first of all, why the heck was freaking President Ross on a warship out in the ocean, in the Indian Ocean? What an idiot. What a stupid thing to do. And he's on the phone with the Prime Minister again. And it's like, those aren't my guys or whatever. We're not attacking you. And it's like, well, who is it? You can't answer. I guess we're gonna keep fighting. He doesn't know. It's so dumb. That whole thing was stupid because once again, it just proved that this was just a Falcon movie because he was literally just being Falcon. The shield was useless in that entire fight. If he was getting shot from a fighter jet, it doesn't matter if you have vibranium in front of me, dude. You're going to go flying. The impact of that alone is going to shove you out of the air.
Mm-hmm. That was ridiculous. That was so stupid. I feel like anybody who knows anything about military grade weaponry would be like, nah.
So dumb. I wrote, he's surfing a missile. LOL.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, can we talk about Sparrow, Joaquin Sparrow, his horrible decision to shoot a missile while he's in front of it?
I know.
You guys catch that?
Wait, hold on.
Hold on. I got it.
It's like walking up to I don't know,
a bomb and shooting it.
I was gonna say like a metal wall
device.
and shoot it right at the wall and not expect it the bullet to fly back in your face.
Sure.
Hold on. I don't think this is gonna hurt me. Yeah. Okay.
I got it. Yeah.
No, hold on. It's okay. I got it.
Everybody's watching me now.
I got a spider on my face. Let me just stab my face really quick to get the spider off.
Instead of coming around, like instead of going behind the missile and like shooting it out from behind, he goes in front of it and shoots. I'm like,
Yeah.
that was dumb. Like you literally came from behind it and wrapped around. Like you were already behind it. It's not like
And then
you were
later-
going head on.
Then later he's in the hospital and he's like, all I wanted to be was you. And he's like, well, that's too bad because I don't really care about me anymore. I'm Captain America now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go. I don't care about Falcon anymore.
But you also
Uh,
can't be a Falcon because I won't give you my suit.
Right. I didn't. That didn't make sense either. He's like, no, you can't be Falcon, but here's some wings. You're basically Falcon.
It's all part
What?
of his journey.
Yeah.
The stupid mask. He did the mask thing. He did the stupid Ant-Man mask. What's the point of those stupid masks? They do nothing.
What you doing?
He doesn't even want to wear a mask the entire. Like, it's so dumb.
Yeah. And then can we end with the end credit scene?
Yes. Well, yeah. I just want to talk about the fight really quick. Basically, the leader is being stupid. He can't even get. The whole point was just a revenge plot against Ross, and he tries to make him angry on a sub, and he fails because somebody walked in the room, and he's like, "Nah!" It's like, dude, you did not think through this plan at all.
So a horrible mathematician, statistician.
Yeah, it was funny. I saw this comment. Someone was like, those stupid headphones stayed on his head while he was hulking out. Why would the headphones stay on his head? I thought that was kind of funny. Basically, that whole entire scene was for nothing. Nothing happened at all. And we get back to the mainland. He's like, okay, Falcon saved the day. So, we're going to go along with the peace treaty or whatever it's called. And the stupid leader is like, I knew there was a blah, blah, blah probability that this would happen. This was all part of my plan, obviously. And he's like, well, I already got this all figured out. And he's like, yeah, well, there's one last thing you didn't expect. A recording.
Over the speakers.
Okay. Well, this time it does work.
Also, the leader literally says, isn't it obvious I'm the hero?
Yes.
Like,
yes. I can't believe I forgot about that. Isn't it obvious I'm the hero? Dude, go screw yourself. This is like the Baron Zemo, like the complete opposite of him.
Also, when he's arrested and then literally 2 seconds later, everybody's getting an article on their iPhone about him being arrested. It's like,
I know.
Who was writing that article?
I forgot though, before we even got to that, there's the whole scene with Bucky. I think we kind of talked on it earlier, but he's like, why take the serum? Oh, I don't know. So you could be Captain America, I guess. He says, oh man, how Bucky is falling. He says the dumbest, he probably says the worst lines in this movie though. He gave you the shield because you're you. Whatever that means. He gave you the shield because you're you.
They're trying to do what they did with Captain America, where they made him because of
and again,
who he was.
This is the prime example of them trying to make it out that he's a better man than Steve Rogers somehow. He is more worthy to be Captain America than Steve Rogers. Yeah, and the whole line, Cap was someone to look up to. You're someone to aspire to. Shut up, dude. Yeah. And he's even like, you took the serum. No, Bucky was actually forced to take the serum and did some horrible stuff because of it. So maybe don't bring that up. Yeah, maybe don't put that on him. Actually, yeah. So we get the Hulk out scene. It is horrible. It's such a joke, and the freaking
clothes and shoes burning up.
His he's red, so fire, I guess. His pants stay on though somehow. They're just regular dress pants, but they stay on. Of course, we also find out that the only reason now anybody can be a Hulk as long as you take your pills twice a day, your gamma pills. But don't worry, they're not going to cause any gamma radiation to anybody around you. It's okay. It's just going to turn you into the Hulk. That is probably there's so many dumb plot points in this movie, but that is one of the worst for sure. Everybody, including himself, would be dead from gamma radiation because of those pills. So anyways, he hulks out, and then we get our big fight, and Captain Sam dies about 10 times in a row. And he doesn't wear his helmet. He doesn't wear his freaking helmet for protection.
That's what they always say, wear your helmet.
Hulk literally grabs him and breaks him through the freaking White House. And somehow he survives that. Then
that one only makes sense because of the wings. That's the only
maybe.
That
but
one.
like, how can you be sure that it's for sure going to cover from all angles? Then, of course, we get. I can't even remember what I put here, but he gets a flagpole thrown at him, and he somehow catches that.
Swung at him.
He had
like a baseball bat.
boosters.
Right. He gets there's like this big explosion because of his Black Panther wings, and is crushed under a huge pile of rubble, concrete rubble, without a helmet on. If nothing else killed him, that would have done it.
Yeah. Not to mention the Hulk, Red Hulk pummeling him, even with his wings. I mean, he was being pummeled.
Literally. Yeah. Punching the shield is not, your arm's shattered, dude. Your bones are mush.
It's game over.
You're done. You're done.
You lost.
Broken angles, blasted to death, dead again, dead. He doesn't even have a helmet, killed under rubble. And then, of course, he's like, you could kill me one punch. I so wanted him to just be like,
okay.
Like a Thor Hulk moment, but he's not Thor.
But somehow he gets to him, and he does. And sun's getting real low, big guy.
And so is the camera angle, and we're like, no.
I was worried about that too. I'm like, those pants are gonna be real big someday. It doesn't make any sense, even in the context of the MCU. The Hulk falls out of the sky from the helipad or whatever, helicarrier, and he says, "You were big, green, and butt-ass naked," because he doesn't have his clothes. They're human. They're normal clothes. They're cotton. They would shred. It's stupid. He should have at least had his stretchy underwear on.
Harrison did not look good. They did him dirty.
Yes, he looked like a poor little shriveled man after that. I felt so bad for him. But of course he convinces them. Like, Betty wouldn't want this. You don't even know who that is, dude. Except all on the news they said, he's Betty, my daughter, and she's Bruce Banner's ex-girlfriend. That's all you really know. Then we get the name drop. Is it a Brave New World with adamantium? That's why this movie was called Brave New World.
The reporter's like, isn't it obvious? I'm the hero. I'm saying all of these.
I am the exposition now. Yeah, bizarre. This freaking narrator. More trying to make him Steve Rogers, all this stuff. And you can tell there were so many moments in this movie where they tried there was going to be something political, and they just took it out and they went a different direction. But things didn't work out for them in the US election. So, yeah. And then of course we get an end credit scene. I guess Ross got some redemption. Betty sees him. But then we get a little moment between the leader and Sam Wilson, and it was more multiverse mumbo jumbo.
Also, is that the same facility? It's like they're keeping them in the same place.
I guess so.
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Super secure location.
I guess for super powered beings, you got to have them in certain whatever. It makes sense from the comics standpoint, but It's
And then
big. It's a big prison.
the leader goes, "Yeah, actually, this is all part of my plan. There
This is
was
all
like
part of
a
my plan."
22.77% chance that I get caught and thrown into the raft with
Yes.
Ross."
With
So
Ross.
Yeah, it's like Avengers, the first one, where he's like, I wanted to get Hulk up here on the helipad.
Right. But that was actually clever because it panned out well. For Loki, that is. Yeah, and then we just get more multiverse crap. We thought we were done with that. No. But also like a very like they still haven't come up with a plan. They were so vague. It's still super duper vague. The others are coming.
Yeah.
What?
And like, oh, there's more things out there than just
But
Earth.
I'm only
Yeah.
like 43% sure that they're coming. So don't take my word for it. But
yeah, obviously we just fought off, half of the universe extinction from an alien race. Yeah, of course.
Right.
We know.
He
Idiot.
actually loses because of a misinformation trial. They're like, this guy's spewing misinformation.
the best part.
I think they're
Go ahead.
trying to retcon. I think this is an ultimate alternate
Yeah,
universe.
just get rid of Kang.
They're gonna
Forget
get
about
rid of
Kang.
They're gonna get rid of it.
Please bury it.
Steve Rogers is gonna come back, and they go, "Oh, just kidding. All this stuff. This actually was an oopsie in the timeline. We're gonna start from Captain America. He actually doesn't go back. He's not selfish. He doesn't break his core character. Iron
Literally.
Man. Oh yeah, he's actually back now as well. He also didn't break his character core traits, and we just go right back to square one."
The more I think about Tony or Robert Downey Jr. playing Doctor Doom, the worse it gets because like
Oh yeah.
they are the antithesis of each other, and the whole point of it is the last time you saw him, he saved the world. The next time you see him, he will destroy the world. And it's like, what the heck? That sucks. I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, the best parts of this movie were when Sam said, "I don't think I'm actually cut out for this." Yes,
in the theater
correct.
went, yeah,
yes. And I did actually kind of chuckle when he was facing Red Hulk. He's like, "Man, I should take that serum. Bucky's full of it." Yeah, you should have. That was it though. The rest was horrible crap. What a garbage movie.
Yeah.
So what do you guys rate it?
Oh, I put a half star.
Yeah, 1 out of 10. Same.
Yeah. I give it a 1 out of 10. Better than maybe half in my mind, but
half a star, so a 1 out of 10. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So because the stars would be out of 5, so half a star equals 1 point out of 10.
Okay.
Okay. So you give it a 2. You give it a 2 out of 10 then. Maybe.
Nope.
I don't care how entertaining it might seem to certain people. Like, fine, if you like that, good for you. But contextually in the MCU and how broken this movie is, all the plot holes galore, the character assassinations, it is horrible and it is offensive on all nerd levels. I hate it. I freaking hate it.
Yeah.
So I don't even know how well it's doing in the box office either. I know it's like a 50% Rotten Tomatoes. Captain America, Brave New World, box office. 100 million?
Ooh.
Sorry. 11.18 million domestically.
11.8.
Boy, I see 100 million. That must be worldwide.
Has it opened worldwide yet?
Okay, I don't know where they're getting this from. Captain proves this is from Variety. First delivered a mighty 100 million in its domestic debut over the extended President's Day weekend. I believe it's 180 million. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it'll do well. I don't know, but yeah, it cost 180 million that we know of at least. I'm sure we'll find out. I'm sure we'll find out that those numbers are actually inaccurate.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
But
regardless, it's a stupid movie. Don't go see it.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's fun to rant about it at least. And now I want to go back and watch Captain America. So the real ones.
Yep. That's what I'm doing.
But yeah, so anyways, didn't get to talk about Spider-Man. We'll talk about that next week with the 2 final episodes. So we'll just kind of recap it. Hopefully Bluey will watch some of it.
I'll catch up.
Maybe. I will say we did get Daredevil, and that was about the only good thing I've seen so far in the show. And that wasn't even that great. But yeah, so stay tuned for that discussion. There's a lot I have to say about that. And maybe, and then we'll probably talk about some Invincible as well, but there's really not much to talk about in it. It's just kind of a fun superhero show. But yeah, so go check out Buffalo Big's podcast, Whiskey Mishaps.
Yep, new episode
Spotify.
dropping tomorrow.
And it's just called Whiskey Mishaps everywhere, right?
Yep, Whiskey Mishaps.
And on
Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You can follow us on Facebook,
Instagram,
and Instagram.
Twitter.
We are not on Twitter
You're not on
currently.
Twitter,
yeah, or X, I should say.
Yeah. So, but go follow the rest of us on X, Twitter, Biggie 5547, Bluey _ 54, and Buffalo Big, and of course, Talking Nerds. So go check us out over there. Bluey and I tweet a lot, almost too much
I have
for me,
a
at least.
couple of bangers over there.
Yeah. I am on Twitter all day. So yeah, go check us out over there. If you haven't, go check out our Discord too. We are planning on watching. I think we decided on Ghost Rider is the upcoming movie whenever we get around to doing that. But Ghost Rider will be the first Talking Nerds cinema movie night thingy, and we'll probably do a super cut for it as well. So you can go check out our Discord. Come join our little cult. And yeah, so we'll be back next week. Thank you for tuning in. Peace out, guys.
Peace.
See ya.